Hi, Donghyun.
Hi, hey you. What's up?
Yeah, Donghyun, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Don. I'm a friend of Heyu. We're friends from grad school. We studied interpretation and translation together. So that was 2017 to 2019. So it's been several years now.
Yeah,
And Heyu invited me today to have a short chat over Zoom. So I'm here.
yeah. I always thought that Don is a great English speaker, and but Don always denies it. But I just really wanted to use him today to talk about a very casual topic. Today's topic is about laziness and procrastination. I'm going to upload the questions on the in the description box, so anyone who's watching this video, you can check it out. So the first question, Don, could you read it for us?
Okay, so the first question, do you consider yourself lazy? Rate yourself from 0 to 10, with 10 being utterly lazy to the point where you cannot control yourself, and 0 being extremely diligent and knowing how to restrain yourself. Give us an example that supports your answer.
Yeah,
Mm.
Don.
So,
Yeah,
okay, I go first, right?
yeah.
I would rate myself 6 out of 10 in terms of laziness because Um, I do things that I like and when I feel like it, but when it comes to things um, that needs to be done, but is something that I don't like, I procrastinate, and that happens quite often.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like um, there are certain areas in my life where I really procrastinate a lot. So this procrastination goes on for like several years. So there are some things in my mind that I feel like I need to do, but I never do it. I just
Oh,
keep pushing it. I'll do it later. I'll do it later, and I never do it. So
mm,
maybe maybe it's 7 or 8, even I don't know. Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
That's very natural because humans tend to do things that they like and they never want to do something that they dislike.
Mm.
And I'm guessing that exercise is something that you never procrastinate because you love playing sports. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, I try not to miss out gym. So I try to
Mhm.
go to the gym often as I can, and I play futsal on Saturdays, and I take soccer lessons on Mondays, and I'm even planning to join a soccer team now. So
Oh,
no, so it's definitely something that I like, and I never procrastinate on it, and I'm always searching to do a little bit more of that. But things that I don't like,
mm,
I don't know. So like back in school, like there are assignments that you just don't want to do, right?
yeah.
And I just can't do it until the final day, just the
Yeah.
day before, just the day before I have to submit my assignment. So yeah, that
Yeah.
happened a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Same
what
here.
about you, Hayu?
Um, in contrast, I don't really like playing sports. So although I registered like to exercise in the gym, I used to
Mhm.
donate a lot of money there because I just don't like moving.
You don't like moving. All right.
Yeah. Mm, so things that I don't procrastinate are maybe just like writing or like running this
Mhm.
debate club.
Wow. Yeah.
Many people say that, oh, you must be really like exhausted running this club for like over 4 years, but I like doing this, so I never feel
Mhm.
really tired. Of course, sometimes I upload the questions really late, but the reason why I could run this club for so long is because I like doing it.
Mhm.
So I think I'm similar to you, maybe six.
Okay, 6.
Yeah,
Actually, like speaking of this Soulmoim club, I
yeah.
was really I was really impressed when you told me that you're running this club. in Songpa, and then you open
송도,
the
송도.
Songdo, sorry.
Yeah.
Songdo, and then you open this Gangnam Club, right? So I
Yeah.
was really surprised and impressed that you didn't give up on this because
Hmm.
I remember back in
Don't even
school,
start.
man. Yeah, I mean, I remember you were the laziest student ever. And I mean I couldn't understand why you even came into that grad school, to be honest, right? But like once you um found this passion of yours, running this club and teaching people English, I was really impressed and uh yeah, it was something different. Something different about Hey You.
Yeah. You know what? Like I want to defend myself, but I can't defend myself because what you all said is so true.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I can't do things that I don't like, and
Mm,
but right now I really found something that I want to devote my time.
mm,
I'm very enjoying my time like running this debate club.
yeah.
And
Clearly.
if we were like one or two, like out of the like laziness, like maybe really diligent, I think we would have achieved something. Like for example, like if
Mm,
growing up,
yeah.
a lot of like adults say, "Oh, you have to study because like studying is the easiest way to succeed." But we
Mm,
never really listen, right? We just do things that we like. And people
mm,
who really embrace that, they go to like prestigious schools and like succeed really early.
mm,
But um even if I would like I go back, I think I would never really do things that I don't like. Yeah. So
okay.
of course there
Yeah.
are regrets,
I
but
understand.
still just
Mm.
I just want to enjoy the present.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the second question. This time I'll read
Second
it.
question. Okay.
As we grow up, we gradually realize that we cannot just do things that we want to do every day. The first task we encounter is completing our homework. Were you a student who finished homework before bedtime, or did you do it in a rush the next day? Yeah,
So are you
Dawn.
gonna go first
So
or
Dawn
I
first. Yeah.
okay. I think I've already answered that question with the first question, right?
Yeah.
But I always finished my homework in the end. That's why, I ended up graduating from a university in Seoul, and also I finished my master's with Hayu, and also I did another master's with my MBA program, right? So
Yeah.
I always finish in the end, but I always procrastinate. I just can't do it early in the early stage of the homework process, right? So I
Uh,
just keep delaying it until the very end and just come up with the result that is much less than what I could have made. Yeah.
mm, yeah. I'm also like curious about your like childhood, like growing up,
Yeah.
maybe elementary, middle, high school. Were you similar?
I'd say so. I'd say so. I mean,
Mm,
I remember my dad always told me to do um, this and that with my studies. He wanted me to
mm.
study English every day, read some novels and write in English. And I just never did those homework in time.
Mhm.
So, like my dad would punish me.
Really?
Yeah. And even when he punished me, I would still procrastinate the next time. So
Oh.
all that punishment didn't really prevent me from
Mm,
procrastination. So
mm.
I
Yeah,
don't know why. Yeah.
no, but I think that's very, very
Mm,
natural. As I said, nobody wants to like experience pain, and people always try to experience that pain later and do the
uh,
fun stuff first. And
that's true.
as a child, nobody really likes to sit down and study for hours. That's very unique and unusual.
Mm,
And I sometimes feel like Korean children are so like so much forced to do that.
Mm,
And I think studying requires a very special talent, and people who are talented in that field should do that. So I think forcing like everyone to do that demanding stuff is not healthy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
So, so what about you? I mean,
You
did
already
you
know the
procrastinate? I
answer.
already know the answer, but I think, but I still feel like I have to ask you.
Yeah. Okay. So I will tell you like this is psychology behind procrastination.
All right.
So I think growing up, many people praise the talented ones rather than the people who work hard. So if you're like genius and if
Mhm,
you're like a prodigy, I think
mhm.
people praise them more. And
That's
if
true.
you're really a hard worker, unless you have a very good result, nobody really like praises you that much. And I can't blame anyone, but like I think I sometimes thought myself working like hard is just like an I just feel like I'm a dumb person. Like I have to do this because I'm not that like smart. And
Mm,
that's a very bad perspective.
yeah.
But growing up, I think I really didn't appreciate effort and didn't really think that effort is really important.
Hmm.
But right now I regret a lot. But
Yeah, I mean, like, on your point about like praising natural talent and not really valuing effort,
mm,
uh, I can understand. I understand what you mean because I was listening to this podcast and
mhm,
they were talking about like teaching kids and
mhm,
how to treat kids
mhm.
as they grow up. And the thing is, people give compliments to kids not not for their efforts, but for their results or how they look or their natural talent.
Yeah,
And when kids get complimented for those kind of things, then they begin to not put in as much effort they should. Just like you
right.
said, they
Yeah,
don't value effort anymore.
yeah.
And I think that happens a lot with a lot of people.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I definitely understand what you mean. Mm.
Yeah, like so I sometimes had like kind of like pent up anger towards those people, but I can understand them because natural talent and beauty are so visible
Yeah,
and
sure.
people can see only our outer side, so it's very natural to praise that first. And things that like doesn't really show, they can't praise it because it's not really visible. So,
Mhm.
but rather than complaining about it, I just feel like I know it to myself that I'm doing this and I'm putting effort into something. So I don't need affirmation from other people anymore. And I know that I'm putting effort in something. So, anyways, that's kind of true.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the third
Mhm.
question. Dawn, could you read it for me? Yeah.
Okay, have you ever failed to achieve something that you desperately wanted because you procrastinated too much? Did you make the same mistake afterwards? Have
Yeah,
you ever failed to achieve
Dawn first.
something? Okay, something that I procrastinated on too much. Uh, I can think of one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to start my own YouTube channel. Yeah. I think we've had this talk before.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I bought my computer and I bought my camera
Oh,
for my YouTube back in 2018.
really?
So that was 6 years ago, right?
Huh?
And so I wanted to do it for like
Mm-hmm.
years, but I never uploaded a single video onto YouTube. and I just kept procrastinating. I guess it's because I wanted everything to be perfect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many YouTubers, especially nowadays, with like um, great video and great camera, and they have great voice, or they look good, or they have some sort of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I filmed myself and I did something that I thought would be interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the result, I never felt satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of kept me from uploading those videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest um, thing that I didn't do is uploading a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can totally relate to you because YouTube
Mm,
now is not a platform that ordinary people upload some kind of very unsophisticated videos. It's now
mm,
has become a very great big market,
yeah.
and even like celebrities and known figures, they
Mm,
like start a YouTube channel with a lot of team members who help them.
mm,
So compared to their video, the quality of our videos would be way like lower.
mm.
But as a friend who I have like observed you for years, I think you should just focus on one thing and give up the other things. So I think you need to clarify or like really set the goal, like why you're uploading the videos and focus on that. Because
Mm,
if you try to do everything perfectly, you can't get everything in the end. So um
that's true.
if you're going to focus on the content itself, just give up the visuals a little bit. Or if you're going
Mm,
to show like like artsy video, then you should like just give up the rest of the things. So
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good advice, just
yeah,
focusing on one thing at a time and
yeah,
just doing it. Just,
yeah,
and not thinking about how other people would perceive you, or how they will evaluate your videos and those kind of things. So anyways, what about you, Hey you? Have you ever failed to achieve something
um but I want to
because of
add that
procrastination?
I'm really looking forward to your videos because I
All
think
right.
you're a very unique and interesting person.
Thanks.
Yeah. And I've also thought that people might judge me like through my videos.
Mm,
And you know
yeah.
what? They're gonna judge me anyway, and they're gonna talk about how like chubby I
Mm,
am, how much double chin I have, how I'm not like pretty or like my English sucks. But I just feel like that's just life. You can't avoid it. So
yeah, that's true.
I just gave up, and yeah. So my procrastination is actually, let's see, losing weight.
Losing weight.
As you know,
Yeah.
Don and I used to put some money and like did like a deadline project,
Yeah,
and
we did.
I actually gave him like a large sum of money because I lost the game. We were supposed to lose weight uh until a due date, and I failed.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to achieve that goal, so I said to Tong Yun that I will give you money if I fail, and I actually gave it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it was a bet, right? We made a bet
yeah,
to
right. That's
lose. I think you wanted to lose like 10 kilograms of weight within
yeah,
like 3 months or something like that.
yeah, which is unrealistic.
And I wanted to gain weight.
Yeah, yeah,
So those were our goals, and yeah, we eventually failed. Both of us failed, didn't we? Or
yeah.
I didn't, I don't think I really made it.
Mm,
I don't remember. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like a lot of people, they always say that they're going on a diet, and it's always on top of their list of things
Mm-hmm.
to do,
Mm-hmm.
especially like as their New Year's resolution or something like that, right?
Yeah, right.
But most of the time, people fail, and yeah, it happens a lot. So
Yeah. And I think
mhm.
procrastination is very common,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
I mentioned about like losing weight and you mentioned about like YouTube, but these are
Mhm.
all not related to work. And if we
Mhm.
procrastinate in the workplace, it becomes a very huge
Mhm.
issue. So,
Mhm.
but you said at least you finish it and like before the deadline.
Mhm.
But have you ever procrastinated in your workplace or in school?
Um, at work, I think I also procrastinate at work. I,
But did you have did
yeah.
have you ever had to face some like serious consequences?
Um, no serious consequences, but there are a lot of situations where I have a list of things to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I procrastinate and I wait on things
Mm-hmm.
so I can finish last minute.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the times I finish, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I go past the deadline.
Uh-huh.
But, but those things are not really big things. So small consequences,
Oh,
maybe a little bit of I hear something bad coming out from my manager's mouth, just a little bit, nothing
yeah,
too bad. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think
Mm,
things that are related to our work, we need to be really careful because
mm,
our action can influence a lot of people. So
it's
I
true.
always try to like make sure I finish it before the deadline. And yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't even know how I finished school.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go to the fourth question. This time I'll read it.
Okay.
Although we know we have to hit the gym to lose weight, we end up donating money to the gym, never setting foot there for months. In contrast, there are people who eventually go to the gym and exercise. Then, what makes you less lazy? Is it the fear of facing negative consequences or the sense of responsibility? Yeah.
What makes you less lazy?
Yeah, that's the core of the question.
Okay. I mentioned earlier
Mm-hmm.
with my dad, I had to face negative consequences whenever I did not finish homework
Mm-hmm.
uh, from my dad, right? But it never really prevented me from procrastinating and not doing the homework. So I don't think it's the fear of facing those consequences. And so I think when we compare these two, then I think it's more of sense of responsibility. Like you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned with work, when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to work, you're getting paid from your company or from your boss or from
Mm-hmm.
your clients,
Mm-hmm.
and that gives you a sense of responsibility that you have to serve other people,
Mm-hmm.
and other people are expecting you to do something. So
Right.
I think that responsibility makes you less lazy and move your ass. um,
That's
but I think even more important than these two would be discipline. You know,
mm,
I think discipline is more important when it comes
right.
to not procrastinating.
Mm-hmm.
By discipline, I mean just doing the things that you need to do without giving any thought to it.
Right.
Like, you just do it every morning. Like those guys with like ripped, good physique, they just go to the gym every day, whether
Yeah.
you're feeling good or feeling bad or stressed
Yeah.
or tired or whatever. They just go to the gym and do their workout. And when that effort piles up, in the end, they come up with the good result, which is their good physique, right?
Yeah.
Ripped body. And so I think the most important thing would be having the discipline and building a habit of doing whatever you need to do every single day.
Yeah, that's a perfect answer.
Mm. Thanks.
Do you know this scene in a video where Kim Yeona, the figure skater, was interviewed by an interviewer and she was tying her shoe
Yeah.
and the
Uh,
interviewer said, like, what do you think when you're tying your shoes? And she said, nothing. I just do it because I have to.
yeah,
And like
yeah.
I think that kind of really made a lot of people think because
Mm,
in order to be successful like her, many people think it needs a lot of like courage and determination. Of course, she
mhm,
might have that, but as you mentioned, just this very strict discipline that she follows.
mm.
I think it almost has become her like habit, not even like a
Yeah.
discipline anymore because she
Mhm,
has done that for years, like throughout her lifetime.
mm. Yeah.
And since we are a very emotional creature, I
Mm,
think before the emotion intervene, we should just go and just
mm.
do the action.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. Just do it. Mm,
yeah. And I talked about like negative consequences in the question. The reason
mhm,
I mentioned
mm,
that is because um, I know a very diligent person in my 소모임.
mhm,
She's a public officer, but she also runs marathon and do a lot of like exercise. And it,
mm.
and she when she before she became a public officer, she passed the exam like in a year.
Wow.
And she goes to these like marathons like every like regularly. So I asked her like, how could you be so diligent? And in case of the exam, she said that she always imagined herself like failing. Like if I don't pass the exam, my parents will be disappointed and I will lose my friends. I will not have a job. So sometimes we need that
Yeah.
kind of fear.
Fear.
Yeah. Some like a fear
Mm,
that does not dominate us, but a fear that will fuel us to work hard.
mhm, 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 mhm. Yeah, that might be true. That might be true. Mm.
Yeah. So discipline.
Yeah. My answer is discipline.
What makes me less lazy? Um,
Mm,
actually, I don't have a discipline in anything because if
really.
I have a discipline, I think I would be controlled by it and I will not have like freedom. So I just work according to my work. I just like live according to my work schedule.
Mhm,
But these days, I feel the need to have a discipline in a lot of areas because I have to maintain my
mhm,
health and a lot of things. So, but one thing that I want to mention is that
mm,
uh, respect for like respecting yourself, like respect for yourself,
mhm.
because
Okay.
if you always break the promise you made with
Mhm.
yourself, I think you'll be really disappointed in yourself all the time.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So,
Mm,
for example, I made a plan to do this and this
mm,
in a day, but if I just not finish it or if I do it not completely, I think I will always just underestimate myself. Oh, I'm just like that person who doesn't really
mm.
achieve the goal. So, in terms of like self-respect, I think it makes us less lazy.
Well, I think that's a really good point. That you're disappointing yourself when you don't follow through with what you say you're gonna do.
Right.
I should write that down. Let's
Yeah.
not disappoint myself and just do it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because I personally believe that life is all about self-satisfaction.
mhm,
Because although we do things to satisfy others, but
mm,
fundamentally we like choose a job, earn money, like and do things out like to just be satisfied with ourselves. So um,
mhm.
if you don't like yourself, if you always see your lazy side, I think um yeah, you will not like yourself, and that's very miserable life.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
All
so
right.
yeah, let's go to the last question. Could you read number 5?
Okay. You reap what you sow, give and take. All these quotes emphasize that we need to put effort to gain what we want. However, society seems to praise gifted people over diligent ones. When, in your opinion, is effort truly valued?
Yeah, I've already mentioned
Mm,
this.
mm-hmm,
Hmm, when do
mm-mm.
you think effort is really important?
I mean, the question is, when is effort truly valued, right? I
Yeah.
mean, uh, well, it looks like our society praises gifted people, but I think what we praise is actually the results, you know? For example, with the Olympic Games, there
Mm-hmm.
could be this very gifted person,
Mm-hmm.
athlete, right? But if that athlete is not a gold medalist, then people will not praise him or her, right?
Right.
But all the time after the Olympic Games, people praise the winners, gold
Right.
medalists.
Right.
And so I think we praise the result and then we look at their effort after that.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how much effort someone has put into something, when the result is not outstanding,
Mm-hmm.
we we don't really pay much attention to them.
That's true.
So I think going back to the question, when is effort truly valued? I believe effort is valued by people when they show good result in the end.
Oh, that's a sad fact.
And yeah, I think that's what happens in our society.
That's so
Like,
true.
I mean, for example, also with school,
Yeah.
everyone has been a student in their
Yeah.
life, I
Uh-huh.
believe. So,
Mm-hmm.
you could put so much effort into exams, but if you always fail all the time, for
Mm-hmm.
example,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think many people will really value the student's effort and will just say that you didn't I mean, you didn't really put that much effort into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what happens. Mm.
That's like a perfect depiction of our world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, because Kim Yona
Mm.
won the gold
Mhm.
medal, we
Yeah,
beautify her hardship and effort. And
exactly. Yeah.
if she wasn't the gold medalist, I think
Mm.
it's just her suffering and it doesn't mean anything. And that's actually a very uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, I mean, like, who was this Kimiona's rival in Japan?
Asatao.
Yeah, she had a rival, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure about the exact records, but
Mm-hmm.
Kimiona won, most gold medals, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we don't really pay that much attention to the runner up or the second place or the third place. And what about the eighth place in the Olympic Games?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they put a lot of effort to become uh, an Olympian, right?
Huh.
But no one really cares about their effort if they don't win a medal. So yeah.
Hey, but I have a different point.
Hmm.
I once saw Cho Jung-sik um,
Hmm.
talking about this topic. Cho Jung-sik is a very famous English teacher in Mega
Okay.
Study,
Hmm.
and he said that like why is effort necessary? And he compared himself to Peiko, which is a very famous pro gamer.
Miko. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that I can't be Faker. He's like super talented and genius. But compared to him, I'm nothing. And but he said the
Hmm.
reason why effort is still necessary is because
Hmm.
if I didn't put a lot of effort, I wouldn't have come
Hmm.
to this position. So if you
Okay.
always compare yourself to the top tier people, you're never
Hmm.
satisfied. But
Hmm.
to the point where you came, like to the social status and money and all the like things that you achieved. You put effort, and but if you didn't put effort, you wouldn't have achieved it. So he said that still effort is necessary. And that kind of made me think, because of course, if I compare to Elon Musk or like other people, like these um geniuses, I'm nothing.
Mhm.
But to become a teacher like this and to become like a leader of a debate club, I still made effort, and I can't say my effort was nothing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like with the 조정식, I don't know who that is, but he's a pretty successful person, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I was just answering your question, like when is effort truly
Yeah,
valued?
I agree with you, but
Yeah.
I just
I
wanted to,
mean, yeah,
yeah.
by society, I think that was the question. But of course, effort is important for
Yeah.
you personally,
Hmm.
because as Cho Jung-sik, this person said, if you don't put effort into anything, just because you think that you won't achieve anything outstanding,
Hmm.
then you won't go anywhere. You'll just
Yeah.
be there all the time.
Yeah.
But like in the end, like we don't really have to care about what other people think.
Right.
And in the end, you just know yourself and how much you put effort and love into yourself.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, I think we all need to put effort into something that we love and want to do in our life,
Yeah.
in our lives. Yeah.
Some say that the
Mhm,
enemy that we have to win is not others, but ourselves.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
That's true. And also, like, since we're talking about procrastination, I feel like, you know, uh, lazy perfectionists, you've heard of this, right?
Of course.
So you think that you're a perfectionist, but you're actually not. You're just lazy. You're just a perfectionist in your head. So that's why you're procrastinating. You feel like you haven't made the right plan yet or come up with the right strategy yet. So you just keep procrastinating again and again. But, you're in reality, you're not doing anything. I mean, I'm a bit like that, I
Mm,
want everything to be perfect in my head, everything planned out. So I end up doing nothing. And that is a really bad habit to have.
mm.
Yeah, so I'm trying to fix that for myself. Mm.
You know what? I think
Mm.
being perfect is a very big delusion that a lot of people have. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing perfect. And I think perfection can only exist in not human, but in like art pieces. Like I
art
think
piece.
so we can't be in like a perfect state, whether it's like looks or like intelligence or money. And I think um people torture themselves to become perfect, but
Yeah.
um as you mentioned, like just doing it is the first start. And
Mm.
I think doing it step by step um is actually something that's very realistic. And if you strive towards perfection, I think it really gives you a lot of stress, and it's really hard to like survive in this society, because look at yourself and look at other people. Nobody's perfect. And so I think growth is important. Like, so yeah, so I also get a lot of like negative feedbacks when I teach for my students
Mhm.
every month.
Mhm.
And I try to fix that one by one every month.
Okay, that's
So
good.
rather than being like the perfect teacher from the start, I always have things that I need to improve, and I try to fix that and reflect that to my next class. And I think I'm becoming a better teacher by that. But if you
Yeah,
want to be like the perfect teacher from the start, like nothing can happen. So
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're a good teacher, hey you.
um Yeah, but
Mm.
like observing you for a lot of years, I think you are
Mm.
quite disciplined person, I think.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, because you are a vegetarian and you stick to that for a long you have stick to that for a long time, right?
Hmm.
And although you're doing it willingly, I think um you have the power to make some change. And you also exercise really frequently, like regularly. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Well, thank you for that compliment.
yeah. Um, my answer on the last question, when is effort
Yeah.
really valued?
Mm.
Uh, yeah, what you said really is so true. But I think effort itself is not important to other people, but um, in like relationships or like during communication, the more we try to like the more we put effort, we can be like a better communicator or a better human being. Like for example,
Okay.
so when we are young, we used to have no filter and blurt out things that we just want to say. And but growing up, we realize that we can't say everything that we want to say. And you always try to choose the right words, appropriate words, and that requires effort. And yeah, isn't that something that effort is valued? Of course, you have to say the kind words as a result, but
Mhm.
um, mm, I think effort in that in terms of that is really important.
I don't get it. I don't get your last
I
point.
uh
What do
you
you
don't have
mean? Effort?
you don't okay, so mm,
I thought we're talking about like gifted people and people
yeah, yeah,
doing effort,
true, that's true.
intelligent people, right? So,
Um yeah, so it kind of look off topic, but
mm,
what I'm saying is that effort is necessary when we are like communicating with other people and
okay.
uh like you talked about really very specific situations like Olympics or like these competitions, but in our daily life um we talk to a lot of people and have a conversation, and
Mm.
I think putting on putting uh, putting effort not at all and just like blurting out things that you want to say straightforwardly
Mhm.
is not good. So sometimes you need to put a lot of effort to choose the right
Mhm.
words. So I think in that situation, effort is really valued. I think what I'm saying is that kind of attitude is very beautiful because you
Mm.
try to respect that person.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay, so okay, I got it. So effort is truly valued when you're putting effort to for other people, right?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So for example, I get
Mhm.
like emails from my students, and there are
Mhm.
students who are really polite and always try to be very respectful to me. But some students don't even like write anything on their email and just like require things to me. And I
Yeah.
think that's just a difference of effort. So like,
Mhm.
that's when I feel that, oh, you like at least you could just tell me your name and but like anyways,
All
yeah.
right.
Okay. So today we talked
Yeah.
about laziness and procrastination.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was so fun to talk to you.
Likewise.
Yeah, and let's be a more diligent person for the rest of this month, this year, and next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fighting.
hi team. So Don, thank you for sharing your time
Uh,
here. I know you're really tired, but thank you for coming here.
I don't know. It's nothing. Yeah.
Okay, there's a small
Thank
number
you.
of audience in my YouTube channel. So let's say bye-bye to the screen.
Well, thank you for having me today. Bye.
Bye-bye.